So with the way that Cade Horton has pitched lately and into today, what has stood out to you just in the way he handles himself on the mound?
You know, we've talked about it before. He's just very clear-headed out there, very focused, and doesn't let anything kind of distract him from the next pitch. And so that's a very simple approach, but it's an advanced approach to be able to do that. And I think for a young player that, we think when we're put in a new environment, we got a lot of extra stuff going around. Cade seems to be able to, avoid all that and block it out and just concentrated task at hand. And I think that leads to continued success.
It's starting to be the transition of, a little less innings for some of the guys, keep them fresh.
Yeah, it's just something that we're going to keep an eye on with Cade for sure. And when there's, opportunities and moments to do it, we're gonna do it. And he's got to start in 4 days, or the normal rest here. And we got 5 innings from him, and so yeah, we're gonna pick some spots here for sure with that. The degree, just lessen the innings.
What do you think of Kittredge's debut today?
I thought it was great. Did you like it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty efficient.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
You knew there was going to be a lot of emotion with the tribute to Rhino and all that stuff. What was your vantage point on that today?
I think the Cubs did a great job today. I thought the pregame was moving. I thought the 3 teammates going out there was just the perfect touch. And I think we all felt their emotion and their sadness walking out there. So that was, I'll remember that, absolutely.
I think after managing here for a year and 4 months, you kind of understand the extremes and the weather. It feels like there's nothing in between. It's either...
There's less in between than I thought, yeah. And certainly today was a day that, it was just knocking everything down, and it feels like the pitchers gain confidence in that way, and their confidence starts they just make pitches after pitch, and that's what happened on both sides today. Very, very well pitched game from both sides. That one was stout today.
Historically, teams that usually make it to the playoffs win these type of games, 1-0 game where nothing else is going right. Is it your experience with, what you see from this club so far?
You have to be able to win all sorts of games, I think, to make the playoffs. The Major League season is a great test, and there's no sneaking in with the Major League season the way it's structured. So I think the 1-0 games, 12-10 games, it takes all kind to get that win total up to the number that's going to get you in the playoffs. So you try to have a team that's good at a lot of things and can do that. And today was the example of the pitching had to carry the load, and we got a sac fly that turned out to be enough.
Your last start, you said your breaking ball wasn't as good, but you still had command of your fastball. Just what do you think has led to the way you've consistently been able to command your pitches and pound the zone?
Yeah, I think it starts with slowing the game down. Like in the first inning, I felt like I was really rushed and moving really fast, and that's kind of why you saw the 2 walks. And so just settling in really, and just focusing on hitting a target instead of trying to throw hard.
Counsell was talking about how it feels like you're able to just kind of tune out whatever's happening around you, block out the noise, and focus on the task at hand. Like, what do you think is the key to that for you and having success there?
Yeah, like I said, just slowing the game down. Just realizing this game is played 1 pitch at a time, and so just focusing on that 1 pitch. It doesn't matter if people are on or what's going on, just executing and doing the best I can. As soon as I let go of the ball, it's out of my control, and so just having that in the back of my head and having conviction.
So you're not paying attention that you haven't given up a run in a heck of a long time, right?
I mean, yeah, like it's in the back of my head, but like that's not going to help me go out there and pitch better. Still got to go out and do the work and just execute pitches.
What did you think of Andrew Kittredge tonight? His first debut as your new teammate.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. You know, I met him before the game, and really great teammate. He's got the stuff, and so he's going to be a huge part for us moving forward.
You pitched here enough to understand what the conditions could be like when you have a day like today. Is it a confidence booster as a pitcher? Like you kind of know I can just be on the attack and kind of trust not only the defense but the elements?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really tough to hit at Wrigley when the wind's blowing in. So yeah, that gives me confidence to just use bigger parts of the plate and let them hit it. And so yeah, it does play a factor. But ultimately, just go out there and execute pitches.
What was it like just being out there on a day like this with everything, all the emotion, you know, the stuff, you know, the celebration beforehand with Rhino and all that?
Yeah, that was really special. You know, it's just something bigger than the Cubs organization, and just, you know, an awesome human being. And so being able to have that for him was really cool to watch and be a part of. And so just wishing the best to his family and everything.
You've talked about being included in decision making about shortening up some of the starts and the innings. You know, are you continuing to talk to them about that, or is it just going out and pitching each day, waiting for counts to decide? Yeah,
you know, I feel like a lot of that's out of my control, so just going out there and doing my job, and that's getting outs. Just executing pitches until the ball's taken out of my hand, and that's what I'll continue to do.
So you don't know anything ahead of time in terms of pitches or?
I mean, I have an idea, but like I said, like that takes away from me going out there and doing my job. That's out of my control. I can't control, you know, what's going to happen in the game. So just going out there and doing my job each pitch.
A lot of attention over the last several days of what might have happened yesterday. What is your starting staff kind of confidence-wise? How do you kind of feel about yourself?
Yeah, I like I said, like that is another thing that just takes away from me doing my job. Like it's all about going out there and making pitches. Like all that other stuff is just noise, and when I have the ball, like, do your job. It's as simple as that.
For you to face your former team, what was going through your mind when you took them out today?
It was a little strange, you know. I was telling somebody, I said Rutschman was the first guy I faced, and that's the guy who caught my last outing. So kind of felt like maybe he might know what I was throwing, but I'm just glad I got through it, and we got the win.
What's it like working with a new catcher, just with your stuff and the way that it kind of plays together?
It sometimes can be challenging. Carson, thankfully, you know, he talked to me a lot before the game, kind of wanted to go over what I like to do, where I wanted him setting up, different things. So the transition was pretty seamless. I mean, we were seemingly on the same page.
What do you think of the way the wind blows here at Wrigley?
I like it as a pitcher when it blows in. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a interesting game. You watch some balls, you know, get hung up that maybe otherwise would leave, but you know, it's baseball. We're both playing on the same field.
What was it like to be out there with Wrigley on your side and just having that experience for the first time?
Awesome atmosphere. You know, it's not hard to get adrenaline when you're playing in front of a crowd like that, so I could definitely get used to it.
How comfortable are you kind of being thrust into a 1-0 game in the 7th inning and, you know, all that on the new team first day here?
Yeah, I mean, those are the innings I want to pitch in. You know, I think most pitchers would say the same thing. You know, you want to pitch when the game's on the line. That's when it's fun. And so, I don't know if comfortable is the right word, but that's definitely the environment that I want to be in, and I'm glad I got through it today.
Was your adrenaline kind of up there knowing that you're going to do this game?
Yeah. You know, I think every game, you know, in the major leagues, you're playing against major league hitters. I always got a pretty good amount of adrenaline going, but when you walk through those gates out there, it's pretty easy to feel it here.
Been navigating with 5 pitchers doing their job today.
Yeah, you know, they came in and did their job, and you know, played to the conditions, and you know, all in all, really good day for us.
What has Cade been doing well to maintain this scoreless stretch that he's had right now?
Yeah, you know, he's been commanding the baseball, all parts of the zone, all his pitches, and you know, he's done a really good job game planning, making the adjustments that we need to make in between starts, and you know, he's a learner. He continues to learn and get better.
How impressive is his focus on the mound?
What's that?
How impressive is his focus on
Yeah, he's very intense. From right when he gets out there to warm up and in his pregame and everything, he's really intense. So, he stays locked in, and no matter what happens, he moves to that next pitch.
You say he keeps learning. What sort of growth have you seen from him coming up to where he is now?
I think, the consistency of, say we get guys on base, he's able to slow things down and execute pitches. I think sometimes guys let it snowball. And for him, to take that at such, I think he's pretty young too, so at a young age, and that's something that's going to help him continue to get better and keep us in games.
You were able to use all your skills today, including your base running, and seriously, it was a very short hit ball, so you had to use everything you had probably to get there, right?
Yeah, second gear for me.
No, really, a ball player, regardless of how fast or the instincts or what it's all about. Right?
Yeah, it's, do everything you can to win a game. And, for this team, for this city, you just go out and give it everything you got every single night.
What was it like to just see the tribute to Sandberg at the beginning of the game and see his former teammates out there?
Oh, special. I only got to spend a little bit of time with him, but the person he was, the player he was, and what he meant to this organization and this city, it's really special, and I'm just fortunate I got to meet him.
You guys scored 10 runs the last game, 1 run today. Is that the sign of a good team, that you can win all kinds of different type of ball games?
Yeah, I think, throughout the course of the year, you're going to have games where you score a lot of runs, and games where you're going to have, 1 hit or a couple hits and 1 run. So I think that's what makes this team so good, is we can score in many different ways, and, pitching, defense, base running, all the little things. We really take those little things into consideration, and I think that's really going to help us down the stretch.